Hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
the usual.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. Episode 5.
Five. That's a whole hand.
Exactly.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's Wednesday, so it's just like we're just in that part of the week where it's like Friday's not right there. But I'm okay. What's up with you?
I'm good. So much has transpired. We only
Hmm.
record bi-weekly, so
Right.
when we do record, it's like a lot of catching up.
Totally.
I started my September seeing Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter
Ugh.
at night one of the LA show. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was spitting distance from Jordan Woods. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to start another month beyond September 2023 because what am I going to do? I'm just going to wake up and eat a peanut butter and jelly and go to work when I literally saw Beyonce on September 1st. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But just the vibe definitely shifted when the sun went into Virgo. And then I saw Beyonce, and now I'm just like, I actually can do everything and anything. And yeah, just like the energy feels really different. So I feel really good about just,
Mm,
where things are going.
I love that. She did the fucking trilogy for
Hmm.
you. And I'm like, if
She did.
anyone deserves this, it's Maya.
Oh, yeah,
So
for sure. I
congrats.
was gooped and gagged. It was
How
pretty
was it like
excellent.
overall?
I don't think I need to go to another concert ever again. Off top. Also, number two, I feel really foolish for giving Harry Styles hundreds of my dollars over the last couple of years. Because love him, love the man, love the doll, great gowns, beautiful gowns. But I feel like I'm cool off him. You know what I mean? I went to Love on Tour in September 2021. That was the COVID show that got postponed because of the pandemic, whatever.
Hmm.
And then I went again in September. Oh, I went October 2021 and then September 2022.
When he
That's
was
been
just like
a lot.
parked in Madison Square Garden.
Yes, when he was subletting Madison Square Garden. But that's my king, that's my husband, Aquarius man, but I'm gonna go watch him wear an ugly, sparkly striped jumpsuit at Madison Square Garden when I saw Beyonce in the flesh. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't have to say it because no, when like Harry Styles won album of the year this year, I literally tweeted that stupid British bitch. And so, like you know, not that like I don't see it for him completely. I get it, but it's just not like my ministry. But does he do choreo? Is he giving an 8 count or just like a pace back and forth?
Yeah, he's he walks back and forth, he like runs, he like spits water out his mouth, whatever. I will say the last iteration of Love on Tour, he brought out like a black choir and he did like this really cunty transition from God, I can't remember the fucking song, but I didn't know it was coming. And it
Oh.
was a transition from one of his songs into, and his live band did a transition, an instrumental transition into the beginning of YMCA, and then started
Oh.
playing another one of his songs. And honestly, I was screaming in that fucking arena. Okay. I was a Harry down because I was not expecting it and it really knocked me off my feet.
Wow.
So, but yeah, but also I'm glad that he's not on tour anymore. I think he needs to take some time to regroup.
Yeah.
And as somebody who would love to be on his like team, I think we need to go back to the drawing board because I'm getting a little bit bored. Love him, husband, but he's not working hard enough for me. I like a man booked and busy. Jeremy Allen White's going to be in fucking 5 movies in the next 3 years, and Harry Styles. Actually, I think I'm just going to go on tour for 8 years. I don't know. I think
I'm gonna actually stay home and oil Taylor Russell's scalp
yeah.
and and paint her toenails.
Do you think they'd
Meanwhile,
be wearing matching bonnets?
absolutely.
I know he has
Without
satin
a doubt. Or
pillowcases.
he has like a do-rag that like matches her bonnet.
Me and whom?
Oh my God. Wait, Jeremy Allen White, did you see that horrible picture of him with the bang? Like him and Zac Efron?
I think so. Is it that picture from that movie they're going to be in
From the
together?
movie, yeah. And it's just like a harsh, like,
Okay, look, I'm gonna stand by my husband. Like when I was in college, I paid $20 and took my ass from South Brooklyn to the Regal in Battery Park City, which is my favorite movie theater, and saw Bad Times at the El Royale or whatever that movie was called
yeah.
because I was obsessed with John Hamm. And
Real.
his ass died within 12 to 15 minutes of the movie starting.
So
So,
true.
I'm a ride or die. But that I found out, first off, I saw that picture and I was like, this is unsettling. It's kind of giving like TLC early 2000s vibes. Mm-mm. And then I Googled what it was about and I was like, okay, I'm definitely not seeing like the flyover state version of virgin suicides for sure.
Yeah. I kind of want to see Zac Efron's like big face though.
He's so scary. Like he just gives me uncanny valley vibes.
Ugh.
His new face. Literally, who did he go to that did that to him?
It's actually a malpractice lawsuit.
Right.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Oh yeah, we were talking about Beyonce.
You saw Beyonce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Beyonce. I started my new job and making more money. Just your girl. I'm in my bag. You know what I mean? I'm in my Dior saddlebag, if you will. Completely unrelated. I'm going to my first grown-up engagement party this weekend. I've never been to an engagement party, period, because I'm Caribbean, so my parents never got married. So yeah, I'm going to my first adult engagement party. It's a friend of a friend. He and his fiance got engaged. And it's on Saturday. And I'm really excited, actually, because I've never been to an engagement party before. She's Jewish and he's Italian. So I know the food's going to bust, And I don't know. I'm like, bitches are growing up.
We're grown.
Also, I'm fully going to an engagement party on Saturday. Like, I'm going to pull up like a bottle of wine and wear like a nice dress and like an open toe shoe and not a sneaker. Mind you, have yet to be asked on a second date at 24. I know, and we'll get there eventually about why that is, but definitely an interesting parallel.
Real, yeah.
So yeah,
that's gonna be fun. I mean, is it in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Fort Greene Park.
You like come and bring a natural wine, and I think I love engagement parties because everyone's like in the mood for flirting. Everyone's, I want to get engaged, and so you start being like, oh my God, that's so crazy.
Real. And I will say, hopefully there's some John to the engagement party. I'm not putting on, I'm putting on my makeup for me, hashtag
exactly.
I haven't been kissed since we were standing 6 feet apart in the grocery store and wearing masks. So I'm going to need something to happen or else I'm going to start writing a manifesto and it's not going to be good for everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go for it. I think, just like a little cunty dress and Dior like lip oil, I think it goes a long way. Yeah. Late summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Cuffing season we're in tryout era.
Yeah, exactly. Libra season is right there. Like literally next week.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Fola, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I've been, having a good, quote unquote, good grad school week. Like I had a meeting with my bosses and they weren't like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? They were like, hey, I think this is good data. And I was like, so
period.
Yeah, that's been nice. Yeah, I did. Exactly. Yeah, it's just been like a very fun like week or so. Yeah, I went to the Hamptons. If you know, you know. Very cute. I just think that I feel like there's a lot of hoopla going into being a Hamptonite. And I don't know, maybe it's because I went to Howard and like Hamptons just doesn't feel, they're my enemy. And yeah, I don't know. It was cute though. I liked it. I just wouldn't, I don't think I'd pay like thousands and thousands of dollars to like stay there when I could just get on the lure.
Yeah, I feel similarly. This is two-pronged and this is very problematic, but this is our podcast, so it's a safe space. Number one, I don't like to be doing anything that everybody else is talking about doing. Like, that's why it takes me a long time to watch TV shows sometimes and like listen to new albums and stuff because I want to listen to it when I feel like it because I'm not giving it to peer pressure. Like a lot of you bitches don't know what you're talking about, to be quite honest. But yeah, and that's twofold, I guess, because when everyone starts doing something, it's not cool anymore. You know what I mean? Now everyone talks about the Hamptons. My sisters and I tried to go a couple summers ago, and my sister was looking at Airbnbs, and somebody was renting out literally like a tent they made out of a tarp for $750 a night. And it's crazy. I don't know. And also, it just maybe this is a little bit classic, but whatever. Just we all know that like when us common folk find out about indicators of wealth, they lose their sparkle. Yeah. So that's also a thing, Yeah. Maybe I'm just obnoxious. I think it's that.
I think that we need to find a new cool people thing to do in the summer, and then not gatekeep it. Yeah. What else? Oh, I got my very first hate DM.
Ooh.
It was a voice message. I screen recorded it and sent it to everyone in my recently texted. It was from a British person because, I've been having beef with that entire country across the ocean. And
you're literally George Washington.
I'm very much Alexander Hamilton. I'll rap that musical from top to bottom. Lin-Manuel Miranda, I got you. But yeah, she followed me and then was like, I saw your TikTok about British people and I just wanted to say, and I was like, you came from TikTok to Instagram. You clicked my account. You followed my account. You entered my DMs. You pressed a voice memo, recorded it, listened back, and were like, yeah, I'm sending this to you. And I just feel like
this cleared. Yeah.
Right. And I just felt really great about it, kind of, because I feel like inspiring vitriol is important in steps to just taking over the world. Not everyone is going to fuck with you. You have to be a bit of a controversial figure to just be famous. There's no one that's famous and important that everyone likes. Exactly. I have haters and it makes sense. And I love it.
Who would want to be liked by everyone anyway? A lot of people.
Exactly. A lot of you are stupid.
They're not smart. They're not talented. They don't have anything interesting to say. They don't eat. Right. They dress like they're digging out of the dirty clothes hamper every single day. Exactly. Why would I want you guys to like me?
There are so many people that I'm like, actually, stop. Don't tell me that you're a fan. Mm-mm. Actually, exit stage left.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you escorted out of here.
Yeah. Immediately. Also, back to grad school. I'm about to take a test. I'm not defending my dissertation, unfortunately, but it's kind of a big hurdle. So I've been making lists of things that I want to do to celebrate afterwards. I'm thinking about getting a grill in my gap, those golden, whatchamacallit? I'm thinking about getting one of those. I think it'd be so cute.
Not a grill in the gap, sister.
And then I'm thinking of restaurants to take myself to once it's all done.
Girl, I don't think they're gonna let us into the American Girl Cafe if you have a gold grill gap.
No, I'm gonna be like, this is actually very much discrimination. Anti-Black, anti-woman.
They're gonna call the police on us.
And also, you know what? I'll be escorted out.
We eventually get to our American Girl episode, which sooner than y'all think, frankly. So TLDR, I American Girl dolls were my very first special interest. I got one when I was 8 years old. I have 5 now. I'm literally looking at them. I still have them in my room. And just as a young bougie Black girl, I didn't often feel represented in the American Girl space and the product selection. And then they opened the new store at Rockefeller Center. They moved from Fifth Avenue. And I just pop in there every now and then, because I'm just, inner child healing, whatever.
Yeah.
And I pop in there and I'm walking around the store. Why did I stumble upon a Black doll dressed in kente cloth? Oh. I was like, and I tell people that story all the time. I have the worst, I gotta find the picture later. But it just was not what I was expecting to see at Rockefeller Center. You know what I mean? Shorty next to her has red and blue highlights and she's riding a pony. Why does she have the Kwanzaa candle holder next to her?
I'm just imagining the employee that had to dress this American Girl doll in the kente cloth. Whatever paper that was hey, this is what this one needs to wear. And it was kente cloth.
The merchandiser. Okay. She's really making sure she has the right doll, correct?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I kind of want to get an American Girl doll. That'll be an inner child healing moment.
I think if American Girl really liked Black women, they would send you one.
Oh, and now we've said it. Yeah. American Girl, if you're listening, I tore the books apart as a child.
Spines cracked.
But yeah. Shout out to Kit Kittredge. I hate that bitch.
Was she the one riding around in a scooter made out of an orange box? Or I'm mixing her up with someone else?
I don't
know. Because let's Google it. Kit Kittredge scooter.
The Great Depression shorty.
Oh yeah, she for sure did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was honestly a big fan of what's her name, Molly McIntyre. Queen of World War II. Yeah.
Bisexual queen.
I don't know. Yeah, she just ate a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had those circle glasses, like very much Brooklyn.
No, exactly. Exactly. She knows her way around the L. Yeah.
She's like in L Train Vintage.
Yes.
Posted. She's an institution.
She's on Watching in New York every 3 months. Like
the guy knows her, like the New York guys. Oh my God, hey.
Can you imagine? You. And also her fit, it gives the Peter Pan collar, the navy blue and red sweater, the little pleated skirt, the black down. Mary Janes, the white knee socks.
Right.
Like my best friend wears some variation of that outfit like twice a week.
Absolutely. Like it's pinned on everyone's Pinterest. Exactly. She's out of her time.
Exactly. Mother
Molly.
Believe it or not, y'all, we actually did have like stuff to talk about. So we did plan like an episode topic, but then it was just way too much stuff happening in the news cycle that we're like, let's just do a little gossipy catch up because we have a lot of ground to cover. Everyone knows Fola and I have perfect opinions on everything.
Absolutely.
And who would we be as content creators, as visionaries, as the leaders of the soon-to-be free world if we didn't share all of our opinions on everything?
Exactly. So, it's amazing.
So, you're welcome, by the way.
All right. I'm looking at this list and I'm like, there's so much ground to cover.
Just a friendly reminder that we are doing a holiday giveaway. The deal right now is that if we reach 1,000 followers on Instagram and 100 5-star Spotify reviews by December 6th, we're going to give away a basket of our favorite things. Me and Fola are Black immigrant women with tourist placements in the big three. So obviously we have great taste.
Exactly.
And if you're listening to this podcast, you have
great taste.
So I don't know. It's something to think about. So exactly. In order to earn entries to the giveaway, you can do the following and you can send us proof via email at mayaandfolapod@gmail.com or on Instagram at mayaandfolasworld. You can give us a follow on Instagram. You can leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. You can share the podcast with a friend. You can respond to the Q&A question on Spotify. Just something to let us know that you're here.
Exactly.
Something to let us know that you're tuned in, you're listening, you're liking what the girlies are putting out. It does sometimes feel like we're talking into the void. But we know that you're listening. I see the Spotify analytics. I just need some communication.
Yeah. And I mean, we were going to talk into the void anyway.
True. But now we're talking to the void for you guys.
Exactly.
Exactly. You want to start us off with Tabi Thief? Because I know you had a lot of... Y'all, let me preface this by saying, imagine you are Maya Maharaj. You are me. You come home from the Beyonce concert. Your private car, 2 or 3 of them have canceled on you because the city of Los Angeles is a mess and they cannot get to you. You end up taking 2 Ubers and getting home like 3 hours after the concert ended. You're sleeping on your sister's couch in the valley after you already flew 6 hours and you are working multiple retail shifts before you come to LA. And you wake up the next morning and the NYC Twitter Gen Z girlies are talking about tabbies being stolen from our one night stands. So imagine me, rhinestones still on my face. I'm wiping the crud out of my eye. I have seen Beyonce less than 12 hours ago. And everyone is talking about a man. I felt like I was in fucking the Da Vinci Code. I was trying to just put the pieces together and figure out what was going on. And I almost wish that I had it because it was so unfortunate.
Oh my God. Maya, I'm still vibrating in anger. I need you to understand. I was texting Maya as this was happening. I was like, Maya, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard of. I was so upset because at first it was like a Twitter thread. Then I saw the TikTok video. And if you're like not in the know, basically this girl, Lexus, went on a date with a man that she like locked eyes on with in Soho. Apparently they already matched on Tinder. And then they went on like a date and they hooked up. And she basically had a pair of Margiela tabbies in her room that he ended up going home with. Not only that, he then gifted these tabbies that he stole from this woman who he just had relationships with and gave them to his girlfriend. There's so much in that to break down and to piece apart because, first of all, a man in Soho with a mustache, locking eyes with you, and you don't see that as a threat.
And he's not trying to sell you sunglasses or a fake bag.
Right. What do you mean?
What do we have to talk about in Soho?
Not a thing.
The
Getting out of Soho.
What?
That's what we're doing. We're leaving Soho.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then just, you know, the way that he managed to slither out of her life, like he was like, oh, I don't have Spotify. I want to show you this playlist. Let me pull it up on your phone. And then while he's pulling up said playlist, he's actually erasing his details from her cell phone so that she cannot contact him. And then he blocks her on Tinder. So he steals her shoes, knows that he's going to steal her shoes, and then I need to get rid of every way that this girl could get in touch with me. So, I mean, I was thinking about the tabby thief, and I was like, if this happened pre-TikTok, Shorty's tabbies would just be gone. She ended up getting the shoes back, but this was like the power of fast moving social media.
Yeah. If this happened in 2016, it would have been circulating on Black Twitter and NYC Twitter, but the odds of her getting the shoes back would have been very low.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the power of the internet. And I don't know. But it was such a story because you as a man, what the fuck? First of all, and not to be like shitty toward the fashion boys, you know, I respect
towards the fashion boys.
A few of them.
Please.
Even though like fashion boyhood is literally like one thing. It's the whole like dressing kind of like someone's dad and, you know, maybe an earring. But anyway, why are you as a man, like, why do you even know what a Margiela tabby is? Let's start there. And apparently like the whole night he's like complimenting her tabbies. He's, oh my God, I wish I had a pair. I wish I had a pair. Duh. And so I'm just like,
literally sounds like if somebody were to make a satirical story about Brooklyn in 2023, that would be it. Down to all of the details. Right. Down to the Tinder, down to the TikTok, down to the tabbies, down to him being a fashion boy. It really is uncanny. It was honestly an episode of TV. Kind of terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think also just like the ease with which this man stole from her. I feel like there's a level of evil required to do that. To be like, I'm going to hook up with this girl. I'm also going to get my dick wet. And I'm going to steal tabbies. I'm going to do nothing but rob this woman in several different ways.
It's like biblically terrible.
Like literally, this is shit that gets put in the Bible, and God, don't fucking do that. You see that? Don't do that shit over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the people who were like, oh, don't bring strangers to your house. If people want to get laid, where are they supposed to fuck? You want them to fuck in an alleyway? You want them to fuck on the cobblestones of fucking Soho? Where are they supposed to?
That person that was like, y'all don't get a hotel room when you're fucking somebody new. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Hotel room?
Are we in Grand Theft Auto? Why am I booking a hotel room for a one night stand?
What do you do? Walk up to the counter and, hey, do you have any rooms so we can bone?
Right.
Like, what?
I'm definitely not, purchasing illegal services.
Right.
Wink.
And it's like, why would I not? I don't know. And I saw those things that were like, why would you bring someone home on the first day? I'm like, why wouldn't I? I want to see how this person exists in my space. I want to see if there are things that weird them out. You know what I mean? Or or I'll go to their house and be like, what the fuck is going on? Right. You know, what's their mattress situation looking
odd.
like?
It really isn't.
Especially in New York City. Oh my God. Everyone's just so like prudish sometimes. And I'm just like, Jesus.
People
oh my God.
To be purposely obtuse. And that's one of the reasons why I need Elon Musk to wrap that app up. It's a deli sandwich. Just get it out the paint because I'm so tired.
I'm like, you guys didn't watch Sex and the City? They were not making hotel reservations every time they drank a Cosmo and found someone that they wanted to go home with.
Right.
They were going to their apartment or they're going to the guy's apartment. that's life.
You know what it's
okay?
giving? It's giving I married my high school sweetheart. It's giving that kind of that
like
level of
last
naivete.
romantic night was prom night. But yeah, I just, it was, I think it was very, if there was girls like in this generation, that would definitely have been an episode.
Mhm.
And so I think that was like really funny, but also just devastating. There's just, I don't know if you follow Ryan Finn on Twitter, but they were like, because it was like people were like, oh, you need to like have like your guard up all the time. You need to be like worried that basically you can't welcome people into your space because people are going to steal from you. You need to just like always be basically worried about that. It was like, I'm literally crying right now. Like the fact that you guys feel so much like fear about people around you. And it's like there's so much mistrust between you and others, and that there's no, that there's no even just like assumption. Oh, that there's no assumption of just like people just being decent. It's just, it's always, I'm looking for the bad in this situation. I'm looking for the bad in this person. And they were like, I'm crying right now. And real. Yeah.
Like, you guys are insane. It's insane. And tinfoil cap. I imagine the pandemic and us being home for 6 months did not help that because everyone was forced to stay home. And also just because like our country does capitalize on fear.
Absolutely.
And people being afraid.
Absolutely. So, we have to be scared of each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to be rude, but oh my God, if a man leaves a shard of glass under your car and you go down to pick it up, then he's going to put a bag over your head and he's going to fucking kidnap you and put you in the back of his van and take you away.
These bitches want to be Law and Order victims so fucking You will pay
dead ass
for the harm you've done to the
true crime
people.
And then I'm like, okay, you guys watch all the true crime. Some of these girlies have like binders of evidence. Here's my toenail, and here's like some of my hair plucked from the root so that you can have my DNA, so you can find me. And I'm like, you watch all these true crime documentaries, you engage in this, and you don't see that a vast majority of these things are happening between people who know each other.
Because that would require critical thought and actual great journalism, and they're just listening to the cold case files.
Right. And it's also, are you that important?
Let's wake that up.
Who's really going to steal you?
Let's wake that up. You work from home. You have Crocs with gibbets on them.
Hey, not too much on gibbets.
Look, I was saying as a Crocs girly down, but I got my little gibbets on. I had glued them on so I wouldn't lose them. But you look like every other bitch.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know. Someone's gonna risk life in prison to steal you.
Right. White women in their inflated sense of self-importance, but that's another episode for another day.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's where I am though. Fuck that guy. Everyone, and apparently the girl did break up with him. She's his ex-girlfriend, the girl who he gave the tabbies to. Poor thing.
He's just okay. What sign do you think he is?
Ooh,
I'm getting Gemini with maybe like.
I feel I can see that.
He's just I think he's a war criminal. Actually, like just, the whole thing is just really nefarious.
Yeah.
And once again, where are the dads?
Where are the fathers?
You know what? Build pyramids. For Christ's sake.
And what's crazy is the girls, she got the tabbies. Her dad bought her the tabbies. Full circle. A father trying to be a good man, trying to provide. He's probably a bald-headed father. Probably can see your reflection in his scalp, which means, of course, he's going to try to give you the world, and it becoming this. But luckily, Shorty got in, like, Vogue interviewed her. So happy for her.
Men used to build things and go to war.
Men
now they're stealing from women.
Men used to till the land. Men used to fucking plant wheat and corn.
They used to get on the 504 from Ronkonkoma and go work in advertising and provide for their entire families and smoke on airplanes. And now they're wearing graphic t-shirts and trousers and stealing Margiela tabbies from women. I don't know. The draft needs to come sooner or later because I can't do this anymore.
Quickly.
I can't.
Immediately.
I really have to share. I only have to share like resources, but I might see that man on the street and it's I have to share the place that I live with you.
Right.
Ugh.
I'm gonna wind up and just
I'm gonna trip him.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Wow. That was a big one to start with.
Oh yeah, a banger.
Nice. Okay, next.
Yeah, Danny Masterson getting a sentence to 30 years in prison. I love to see rapists go to jail. Yes, I am abolitionist, but some of you guys need worse than jail, honestly.
Exactly.
And then the documents getting leaked that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote letters in support of his character, asking the judge for leniency on his sentencing. And to that, I have to say, also, I'm glad that like journalism is coming back. We really do love to see it. I really don't know what to say because a rich white man who was in Scientology got sentenced to 30 years in prison in like LA court. But, you know, like we were on this mid-ass TV show in the early 2000s and, you know, he's like such a good uncle to our daughters, blah, 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 blah. And then making an apology video, quote unquote, and then being like, we didn't know it was going to be public. Why were y'all doing that shit in the first place?
Well, and what is it with celebrities writing character letters to the court and then being like, I didn't know it would be made public? It's the fucking
because they
court.
all went to school on set, so they didn't actually learn anything.
They had a teacher chasing them down. I never watched that 70s show. It never gave to me.
It doesn't give. If it was like a Friends or a How I Met Your Mother, like I could understand, but it's not what everyone made it out to be, honestly.
Oh, and they have a spinoff, that 90s show on Netflix. I'm like, who was really gagging over this that much?
Right. I will say two things about that 70s show. Number one, okay, so going back to me kind of being psychic and also just like feeling bad vibes all the time. When I was younger, I used to watch ABC Family religiously because I love me a Full House Sabrina the Teenage Witch moment. Okay, me and my emotional support late 90s, early 2000s television show.
Exactly.
I didn't have Prozac yet, so. And so I would watch ABC Family religiously, but as soon as I saw that 70s show was coming on, I was like, you know, I don't want to watch these white people wear bell bottoms on the couch in their parents' basement.
Right.
And it turns out they're all freaks.
Wow. Call Me When Switched at Birth is on.
Also, Ashton Kutcher, you're going to hell. You're on our list.
Jail,
you're going to be
then
number
hell.
one to get drafted because the fact that you started working with Mila Kunis when she was 14 and you were like 22 or 20 or whatever. And then y'all just so happened to start dating the day after she turned 18, basically. And you were her first kiss and her first boyfriend.
Nasty, nasty word.
And for that shit that he was saying about my sister, Hillary Renee Duff.
What do you say about Hillary Duff?
Apparently he was on like Punked or some shit talking about how him and the other guy celebrities like in that scene or whatever were like counting down the days for Hillary to turn 18. And he knew her when she was like 14.
That is so stinky and nasty.
Yeah.
Ew. And honestly, Punked was like the only decent thing that I think I've seen Ashton Kutcher in. He's never moved me since. Because, you know, wasn't it like the two We're Friends and We Have Sex movies? Like one of them had Ashton Kutcher in it and one of them had Justin Timberlake in it. And it's which one's the one that everyone talks about? Not the one with fucking Ashton Kutcher in it. So
exactly.
And, you know, like a couple years ago when Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher were like, oh, we bathe our kids every other week. What do you mean bathing? And in that apology video, they looked disgusting.
Yeah.
They look when you play a video game and you have to wash something before you throw it in the soap and water.
Please.
They're like,
just mad brown splotches on them.
Oh my God. And also, like, I just try to pretend they don't really exist after that. Ever since they were like, we don't bathe, I was like, ew, they look like they stink.
Literally, who asked?
Right. And didn't they say some like weird shit when the slap happened? And it's crazy how like the people who were screaming at the top of their lungs about how violence isn't okay and about how the slap was literally just so awful and just genuinely like a violation of their rights to exist are the ones that love doing violence, the ones that promote systemic violence and enjoy
it's giving
it.
Projection.
And enjoy it. Exactly. Yeah,
it's giving projection.
And also Ashton Kutcher he's like what's it called? He's like an investor in Uber. And I just think that, you know, I want his empire to collapse. I want him done. Yeah. So
yeah, let's wrap him up. I'm glad we're getting all the 90s heartthrobs out of here because honestly,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Finish him.
They're done.
Okay. Also, because the writing letters to the court, like Iggy Azalea writing that thing for Tory Lanez and then being like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna, oh, I actually didn't know that it was gonna be actually released. What if you just shut the fuck up and raised your child whose dad doesn't know what he looks like?
Oop. Yeah. Why don't you collect your royalties from Fancy? Because that's
all literally her only
to them every month.
And I think she needs to give 80% of those to Charlie XCX because she couldn't have done it without her, I'm afraid. Yeah. Okay. Fuck them. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Oh, the woman assaulted with the brick. The way I have so much to say, it's actually caused so many thoughts to roll around in my little head. If you haven't been online in the past few weeks, there was a woman who basically didn't give a man her phone number, and he hit her in the face with a brick, and there were just like hella men. And mind you, these are all black people. This was a black woman getting hit in the face by a black man with a brick, and there were black men like standing around and not doing anything to help her. And the way the internet has managed to react to this and disappoint me, it's actually kind of amazing. I didn't think that the internet could shock me.
Black Twitter makes me want to pull my eyelashes out one by one, literally every single day. And this is one of those situations where nothing has changed about that, because I really just, all the conversations that it brought out, it really is just it's an amalgamation of so many different things. And ultimately, it boils down to misogynoir, which we've been saying. Right. Because if like I always say, if she looked like Zendaya, everybody would have felt really bad for her.
Very real.
No doubt about what happened to her and whether or not she was actually like using the money from her GoFundMe or whatever.
Right.
You know, but I don't know. Everyone is still, even though we all lived through 2020, everyone is still deep in their internalized racism bag. And I'm going to need them to crawl out because it's getting really embarrassing.
It's sick. Because first of all, people were like, oh, well, look at her TikTok. Like, she is posting videos of her being belligerent. She's slapping white men in the street. And that's what did that guy say? One of the guys who claims to have been there was like, oh, I think that she's a troublemaker. So that's why I didn't help her when she got hit in the face.
And then he deduced that after the fact.
After.
Yeah.
Right. And then there were so many men just like crawling out of the woodworks to be like, I don't protect women. I don't fucking know. I'm only going to protect my mom and my girl. It's honestly looking at you and those skinny arms. I don't think anyone's thinking that you're going to protect them either. Okay.
Yeah. Not the optimum remote.
Right.
Coming in to protect us. And it's so insane because it's making my chest hot just thinking about it, that they're like, well, you know, why would we put ourselves in a dangerous situation? And I'm sorry, aren't you guys also worried about getting murdered by the police every day?
Exactly. Aren't black women the ones going to jail for protesting you getting murdered by the police?
Right. Like, your livelihoods are kind of like already inherently dangerous just by virtue of like you having to be alive as a black man in our society. But you can acknowledge that like black women have it worse than you, and like it might actually be helpful for you to step up and do something when they need you. And it's crazy because they always want to talk about women submitting, alpha male, man of the house, but Shorty gets hit by a brick and they're shaking, crying, throwing up.
Crickets.
Yeah.
What do you bring to the table? Nothing.
A t-shirt brand.
You don't even have a table.
Right.
This is like a TV dinner mat. This is not it's not even a table. It's just your lap.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's so crazy. They're like, why would we put ourselves in danger? I don't know her. It could have gotten really dangerous. You guys are pussies. I'm really fucking sorry. Martin Luther King got fucking shot on the balcony of his hotel. And you guys are like hypothetically defending your right to do nothing when you see someone in harm's way.
It's crazy.
And also, if there were also in that scenario specifically, there were lots of other people around.
Right.
So I'm supposed to believe that one of y'all did nothing and y'all felt so unsafe, even though there's a bunch of y'all there.
Right.
Y'all would
You
feel
couldn't jump
unsafe to
this
do
man.
something if other people were there. Like it's and just already proved to me everything that I need to know, which is that ultimately Black women only have ourselves at the end of the day.
Very real.
And sorry to them. They can do whatever it is they do, have their wave competitions, start their podcasts, screen print things onto t-shirts in order to build generational wealth. I don't know. But I'm going to be over here doing critical thinking and reading books because
Yeah.
they don't got it going on over there.
With the girlies.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Fuck that though. That was like, I think it was just also just so jarring because it was like how comfortable so many people are with like violence against Black women.
Exactly.
And I think on the heels of people being like, oh, I knew I needed to see the full story. I needed the full story. These are the same people who like Megan Thee Stallion shows her foot riddled with fucking bullet holes, stitches, and people are like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to know the full story. I didn't know the full story. I don't think she got shot. Like, what do you mean you need to know the full story? I bet you have not read a book cover to cover in the last 10 years.
They've never read a short story. Yet they're asking
you
they
need the
want
full story.
They need to point at the words in order to sound them out. But they need the entire Law and Order script.
Right.
And it's nuts because it's like, I don't know why men find it so unbelievable. Also, I wish that I could live in their world where it's just unfathomable to them that women are like constantly at risk for violence from men all the time. Because they're just like, oh, well, like, I don't know, like me and my homeboys are fine, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, why was I getting followed on the street when I was 13 years old?
Exactly. It's this lack of accountability. It's this, oh, well, me and my boys wouldn't do this. Yes, they would. And you would sit there and watch.
Exactly.
And they know that. And you know that, which is why they're comfortable doing this fucking bullshit. It's what's not clicking. What's not clicking?
Right. They're so fucking oblivious and they really cannot take in the information or dissect it. And it's really scary. I don't know how some of you guys made it to adulthood, honestly, because just no critical. They really are the white people, Black people. They really are. They did eat with that.
And, even the ones who like walk around with copies of All About Love by Bell Hooks, they're going to steal your tabbies. So there's no, they're going to watch you get beat up by another guy or they're going to rob you.
Yeah. Jesus.
Disgusting.
I hate it here.
Oh, and speaking of that nasty girl on Twitter and TikTok, I forget her name, but she looks like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, like unwashed, disgusting. She has like a neck tattoo. She was getting on. First of all, she calls herself a men's rights activist. So we already know with what kind of brain rot we're dealing with. But secondly, she was getting on to be like, oh, her GoFundMe is a scam. She didn't actually get hit in the face with it. And this is like a white woman. Like, how about you mind your own fucking business?
Right. Why are you in Black people's business?
Constantly. Disgusting. Ew.
Also, men's rights activists, but you're in Black people's business to defend Black men? I don't know. It's really weird. It's really peculiar.
It's stinky.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that shit.
Fuck
also,
that.
men's rights activists. Why don't you worry about why your brothers and uncles and dads and husbands are shooting up schools every time they have a bad day? But you want to play Nancy Drew and try to be like, she didn't get hit with the brick. Blah, blah, blah. I saw Goody Proctor with the devil. Blah, 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 blah.
Get a grip.
Please. I just know she had a Columbine blog on Tumblr. I just know she did. They're like, Dylan and what was the other name?
Oh my God. Oh, what's this? Eric, I think?
Eric and Dylan were just misunderstood and they were bullied. Women with internalized misogyny. When we get to our misogyny episode, that's going to be like 3 hours.
Oh.
I just have so many grievances. White
it's
women.
It's going to be like part 1, part 2.
Yeah. It's gonna be a triple feature, I fear.
Everyone's got me fucked.
Speaking of nasty white people, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. It's not okay. I gotta say, I saw that picture, that mirror selfie that Joe Jonas posted of him in like a little brown suit or whatever that he was wearing, but he was shirtless. It was like maybe overalls, and it was like the top was down.
Interesting.
First off, somebody quote tweeted it and they were like, he looks like a New Jersey firefighter on Grindr. And I screamed because I definitely went out with a guy who looked just like that in his Tinder profile.
Very much bridge and tunnel.
Yeah, except that he was EMT and he was short. It was a whole thing. Anyway, as soon as I saw that picture, I just knew something wasn't right because I was like, why the fuck would I care that Joe Jonas is shirtless in a new selfie? Like, what does that fucking do for me?
What
right?
is it? 2009? Like, what?
Right. I don't know. Are they making Camp Rock 3? What's going on? And then we start getting just an abundance of news about their marriage. Joe and Sophie. Joe wants to stay home and Sophie wants to party and she wants to work and he wants her to be a mom and blah 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 blah. And it was too fucking much. It was too fucking much. I don't know what his PR team was doing on the scheduling front, because why would y'all drop all of that shit at the same time within the same week? And we're just supposed to buy it? Are you sure?
Not a trickle?
Are you really sure?
Not even like a little stream of information? You're just throwing the whole book at us on like a Friday afternoon?
Right. Kris Jenner would never do that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take a lesson from her fucking book.
Right.
Fucking Timothy and Kylie taking months to be confirmed. That's how you do
exactly.
it.
Slow build. Why are y'all just rushing the thing? What are y'all trying to get ahead of?
You build doubt. You build, confusion. One thing about that Jenner woman, I don't like her, but she can fucking get the job done.
She's kind of like the white Shonda Rhimes, if you think about it. She really knows how to control a narrative. She just be cooking. Like, that's my sister, low-key. But yeah, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. And then also, I did not know that she was mad young when they got together. That allegedly, when they got together, she was 19, he was 26.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of a common theme for the rest of the episode. But it's really nasty and gross. And then for him to try to be like, oh, like she's a party girl, whatever. It's, yeah, because she's fucking 27 years old.
Exactly.
She's never had an amaretto sour in Bushwick because she was having your dark-haired, purity ring wearing children while also being on Game of Thrones.
And
do you know what I mean? Let her live, let her be free. And yeah, I didn't realize they got together when she was that young. I didn't realize they had two kids really quickly. Free my girls from the shackles of getting married to an older man really young.
Because it's sick. It's getting very sick. It's getting very scary. It's
really unsettling. And on the topic of like young moms like getting married really early, the Utah Mormon girlies, I follow this girl on TikTok. She's like ex-Mormon, but she's like married. Like she got married at like 23 or something. Cute girl, great content, great gowns, beautiful gowns, whatever. I would rather eat every French fry at Shake Shack than be married with a house at 24 fucking years old. And luckily they don't have kids yet. I think it's because she's been reckoning with like her religion, I guess. So we're actually going to wait to have kids later, but they are still pretty young and they like built their house from the ground up. They got married 2 years ago. It's insane. And yeah, look, I respect it, but it simply is not me. I'm sorry. I'm having way too much fun being a young lit bitch. I love only being responsible for myself. And even that,
I don't even do that a lot of the time.
Yeah, I love coming home and sitting in silence and getting high out of my mind and watching Sex and the City on HBO Max.
Exactly.
And not having to take care of anyone, you know?
Like, you come home after work and there's a man asking you what's for dinner and you're 24.
You don't have your own room? You don't have your own room.
Save the girlies. And with Sophie Turner, I feel like... Oh, speaking of like Utah Mormon girlies, do you watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Okay, I don't, but me and one of my TikTok mutuals hung out this morning. Karina, if you're listening to this, hey girlie. We were talking about it, and I do kind of need something to fill the reality TV-sized hole in my heart, so I might start Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, it's like they're all either like Mormon adjacent or like they were like ex-Mormon or whatever, and they're just like being Real Housewives, but it's so good because there's that, layer of like religious, weirdness all over it, and some of them are excommunicated from the Mormon church. Very slay. But yeah, just thinking about Utah. But Sophie Turner, I just feel like the thing is, after Game of Thrones, she was like on a rocket to having an insane career.
Exactly.
Because she acts down And it's like she grew up in front of all of us. She was 12, 13 in the first season of the show. And just for her to be snatched out of the game to give birth makes me sick. But it's luckily, so luckily 27 Club, the fact that she's been freed from this man, I think that she's going to she needs to get cast in one movie and then just keep it.
I think she's going to have her Giselle moment, I
love it.
Yeah, I love that.
For her. Good for Sophie. And also Joe Jonas, I'll be honest, what has he been like? What is it? Cake by the Ocean in fucking like 2015. That's the last interesting thing. Right. You had to leave your family band, make a new band, and then come back to your family band because you weren't even eating over there.
He came home hungry. Okay.
Right. The brownstone in fucking Murray Hill or whatever the fuck just was like the rent was not getting paid. And he was like, I have to call my brothers. we have to start singing Year 3000 to fucking crowds of people. Mind you, imagine him
like, I'm imagining him in like a Lifetime or like a Showtime show sequence where like he comes home, Nora Jones is playing in the background. He opens up the bill of the dining room table and he realizes he's like, yep, can't make that mortgage payment no more. And that he goes into the bathroom and he opens the drawer and he pulls out the fucking flat iron and he plugs it in. And he knows exactly what he has to do.
Like staring in the mirror, like, when they like look at the mirror and they get like really close and they put their hands on the counter and stuff.
Yes. He's like, and then he plugs it in and he's like, let me shoot off this text while it heats up.
Gotta straighten my bang. I mean, congrats to them for pulling, what's the other one? Kevin Jonas out of retirement, him and his sideburns. I think that he was, I don't know if you've seen the clips of his reality show with his wife where she's, hey, I really need some alone time. I just need to go and just be by myself in our room for a minute. And he like follows her throughout the house and is, baby, like, why won't you listen to me? And it's just so fucking annoying. And it's okay. If you've like ever seen a Jonas Brothers, sorry, I'm like on a tangent, but if you've ever seen a Jonas Brothers like concert video and they yell, like they go, okay, Joe, who's here for Joe? And then you hear a lot of screams, and who's here for Nick? Here's a scream. And then who's here for Kevin? It's crickets.
I did not know they did that. I can't think of any other reasonable explanation. Because I don't know, Nick Jonas seems like a nice guy. I feel like he would be like, hey, like people don't really like Kevin as much. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Yeah. But we know Joe Jonas is like a dickhead now. So maybe he was like, no, like we have to know.
Nick Jonas was like, actually, can I just have a cookie?
Have a crumble cookie.
Oh my God, Priyanka. What was I saying? Oh, and also speaking of, you remember Frankie Jonas and his like TikTok drama a couple years ago?
He's so irritating.
Where he was dating some girl and apparently she was from Queens, so he called her poor.
Sir, nigga, first off, you and your brothers are not far behind. Second, you live in New Jersey,
right?
Essentially the annex of Queens.
Exactly.
So,
you're literally eating off of Camp Rock residual checks and you're calling people poor.
Noodles off of Camp Rock residuals. Can you imagine? Yeah. I'm the Jonas Brothers' younger brother.
Yeah. Like, I'm the one that wasn't in the band.
Yeah. And I go to Columbia and I'm like
annoying. Anyway, I'm still gonna bump Mandy because that was my song as a child.
They had some bangers when they were younger.
They definitely
Yeah. Honestly, the further we go down this list, I'm realizing that it's just strengthening our case for the matriarchy because the genres of disgusting men on here, it's really unsettling. Honestly, I don't know.
And there's like a string that draws them all together. It's kind of crazy. Enough Jonas. Did you read the Rolling Stone thing about Jimmy Fallon?
Okay, I did not read it. I saw people talking about it, and honestly, it's okay. It's almost like when studies come out where it's, research shows that Black women are discriminated against for their hairstyles at work, and it's yeah, we all fucking knew that.
OMG. I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's wow, I cannot believe it. But I'm gonna read it eventually because I just like to be in the know.
Totally.
But I always thought Jimmy Fallon was a wild cornball. Like he just but also allegedly his substance of choice was the booger sugar. So not alcohol, as I think the article said.
Interesting.
But yeah, he's just a weird guy, you know. I
Right.
thought he was funny sometimes, but otherwise I wasn't really gooped or gagged.
Right.
I'm hoping that this is gonna open up. You know, we got James Corden out the paint.
Exactly.
We're getting Jimmy Fallon out the paint.
Kimmel next.
I will say Jimmy Kimmel, that's my South Brooklyn king.
Let me say, he's like the one Jimmy that I'm like, he can stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
James, all the hot talk shows hosts named James. Put him in the blender, but Jimmy Kimmel's okay. I prefer his face to Jimmy Fallon's.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like a lot more subtle as a person, you know what I mean? I feel like Jimmy Fallon gives like a little white boy with ADHD in the early 2000s. But yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going to say something else about Jimmy Fallon. I will say his Ben and Jerry's flavor, he kind of chewed. But also I know that he was off that coke when he made that. So it kind of makes perfect sense.
What's his Ben and Jerry's flavor?
It's called the Tonight Dough.
Okay. It's like cookie dough?
Yeah. It's so fucking good. Let's look up the ingredients.
Like I always see it in the store, but I never grab it.
Caramel and chocolate ice cream with chocolate cookie swirls and gobs of chocolate chip cookie dough and peanut butter cookie dough.
Ooh.
But hey, you know what? I'm just helping out somebody who's about to lose their job. You know, like
yeah. But it's okay. Creepy guy in late night television, shocker. All of these, you know, environments are so toxic. What's it called? SNL. They're literally whipping them. And we're just supposed to be like, oh my God, Jimmy Fallon. I don't know.
Also, they be running them their fucking labor camps and then the shows don't be funny.
Don't eat. Haven't eaten.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping this will make way for my white king, Seth Meyers. I love an awkward man.
Oh my God,
you know,
yes.
He's kind of iconic. Speaking, you said hot Jameses who have late night shows. You know who really needs to get back on the job market and who should have a late night show? James Marsden.
Oh my God, your mind.
Where's he
because he could sing on the talk show. He could have, you know, because Jimmy Fallon has the little roots moments all the time. Is that Jimmy Fallon? Yeah. And it's, you know, like oh my God. And he was so good in Hairspray. And he's so good in everything that he's ever been in.
Dude,
James Marsden.
Like a 60s style variety show. Like very different from Hairspray. That I'm seeing black and silver.
Yes.
I'm seeing bow ties.
Renaissance.
I'm seeing he should do Alien Superstar. I'm seeing like black women with like flippy hair and glittery dresses. Like I really do think
disco balls. Yeah. Someone call into the show.
Speaking of talk show host Drew Barrymore, I forgot to put her on here, but
and you know, I fluctuate on my feelings for Drew Barrymore because sometimes I'm like, yeah, the fact is she was throwing back tequila shots at a smooth age, like 6. And
she was literally doing coke at fucking Studio 54
as a baby.
When she was like 7 years old.
I'm like, damn, help my sister. I'm glad that she managed to get it together. But during the strikes, running your talk show and not being in solidarity with the writers and the actors. Is she not SAG as Drew Barrymore?
No, she should be. And also, Drew Barrymore, she has enough money that she doesn't have to do her show.
Right. Because she had cocaine money before she even had an actual bank account. Right. What do you mean? I mean, it's not just how much is yours, you know, it's like her family. Like she's like 6th generation Hollywood rich. Like you just
this article, which these tend to be wrong, but the article says she's worth $125 million, which is less money than I thought. But like,
honestly,
let me see if she's SAG.
You know who's worth a lot? Mary-Kate and Ashley. They're worth combined $500 million.
Okay, this Entertainment Weekly summary very quickly says Barrymore is not violating her contract as a member of SAG-AFTRA. I don't know, girl. I don't know.
It's still just ew. Yeah, I want Fran on the show. I want Fran to be like, actually unplug this shit. Turn it off.
I want her to like storm on the stage. That would eat.
Yeah. And just shake the camera and then the show becomes The Nanny. It's like smack in the middle of a Nanny rerun.
Oh my God, she does a TikTok transition and it's The Nanny.
Oh, me and The Nanny.
Oh my God, we gotta do a Nanny episode. We gotta, oh my God.
The way we have to dedicate an hour just to the outfits.
Oh yeah.
Because as a kid, I watched The Nanny and I was like, oh, this is like funny. But as an adult, I rewatched The Nanny and I'm like, oh, this bitch was serving cunt from episode 1.
She did not come to play with these
Season 1,
hoes.
episode 1. My God. The cinch waist. We have to do a whole episode about that because we literally have so much other shit to talk about. Yeah, but like, Jimmy Fallon. I don't know. He's never been the girl for me. You know. I'm glad they got James Corden out the paint. I'm glad that like Jimmy Fallon, everyone's, because he does suck. There's too much of him. I don't like seeing him as often as I do.
Yeah. Whatever. Chris Evans and the Child Bride. Dumois, I gotta say, my feelings about Dumois are so complicated. I think I'm ultimately in a place where I'm like, fuck Dumois. But I saw somebody being like, I don't know, someone, Jeremy Renner and Robert Downey Jr. LA or some shit in Boston. And people were like, oh, like the streets are saying that Chris Evans is getting married to a 26-year-old shorty that weekend, and that's why they're all there. And I don't know.
Mind you, Chris Evans is 42.
Why are you 42 years old dating a 26-year-old girl? It's getting weird.
And what's crazy is he's like Chris Evans, you know? Like he's had like a list of like hot girlfriends that are like age appropriate. But now once it's marrying time, and when people like point out, yes, the age gap is pretty weird. People are like, oh, well, she's like a legal consenting adult. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, fine. But also, as a 26-year-old, what the fuck are you talking to someone in their deep 40s about?
No, exactly.
Not deep 40s, but come on.
Or he's in there. He's paddling through.
He's in.
And it's just so crazy to me. Obviously, we touched on age gaps a little bit earlier with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. But it's just, I hate the way that people act obtuse because they don't want to think critically.
Right.
Because sure, she's a legal age, but you know, what is the legal age exactly? That if you're 17 years old at 11:30 p.m. and then you're 18 years old at 12 a.m., you're allowed to do whatever. You're just free reign.
There's just some dramatic shift that takes place.
Right. You know, even though you're probably still on your parents' cell phone plan.
Exactly.
They probably still provide food for you. You probably still have to let them know when you're leaving the house. And yeah, I just hate because it's intellectually dishonest to act like an age gap is not a power imbalance. You know what I mean? Simply because that person has had more lived experience than you.
Right.
And, you know, then you add in the factors of gender. I feel like she might be like white Latina, his wife, Alba.
She's like Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
So just like white.
Yeah. Like spicy
European
white.
Yeah, olive oil.
Yeah, but it's just intellectually dishonest to act like that doesn't play a role there.
Right.
And yeah. And I also hate like the people who claim to be like leftist or progressive who are like, you're saying that like women can't make their own decisions or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm saying that I don't think that someone who's young should be taken advantage of. And also, why are you guys so quick to be like an 18-year-old is a legal consenting adult?
Exactly.
Why do you guys feel good? Why do you guys feel so comfortable adultifying teenage girls?
Right.
18-year-old girls are in high school.
Exactly. I was 18 when I graduated high school. Yeah.
Right.
Like, and I'm just like, also, I feel like people love using like the age of consent as this is the law. This is the hard rule. I'm like, you realize they like made an age of consent so that you motherfuckers wouldn't fuck 12-year-olds. They were like, we have to find a limit.
Yeah.
And 18 was like the most reasonable. And in some states, it's not even fucking 18. They still have the fucking Romeo and Juliet laws or whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
And so it's just this idea that, oh, age of consent, da, da, da. And we were just talking about it. The people, like men doing countdowns till fucking Hillary Duff, Mary-Kate and Ashley turned 18 so they could then start beating their dicks to them and feeling not like bad about it. Like,
exactly. That's who you guys are defending.
Are you okay?
Yeah. And it's so fascinating to me because if you apply any of that to like real life situations, you know, they would feel completely different because it's okay. You're defending Captain America.
Right.
Sure. You know, he's not going to give you his shield. He's not going to make you a cameo.
Right.
Hang it up. But also, so if you have a 26-year-old friend and she's like, hey, I'm actually going to marry this 42-year-old man and we are in a serious relationship. You're telling me y'all wouldn't have any thoughts. Y'all would have no concern y'all would not be talking about it in the side group chat without Shorty.
Exactly.
Y'all would not be having a kiki about it and being like, yo, that's a little bit weird.
Exactly.
Because a 16-year age gap is nuts. This nigga was going to sweet 16s while she was in utero.
He was
doing the cha-cha slide and eating chicken parm at an Italian venue while she was in her mother's uterus.
Right.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Mans was in Fantastic Four. He was like starring in movies. And she was like in elementary school. I don't know, just and it's not to be like, oh my God, I don't think Chris Evans is attractive. Because yeah, sure, he's 18 years older than me. I thought he was very hot for a very long time. But as soon as I found out he was dating this girl who's 2 years older than me, I was like, ew. Suddenly he's not attractive anymore. I don't know. And it's just, I think that also like Chris Evans, I think the sad thing about him is that there was like so much potential there. Like he's a pretty good actor. And he is a tall white man. So that's a career slam dunk. Yeah. And you're mid at best.
He's shooting himself in the foot.
Right.
I just want to be like homely and be a dad.
Yeah.
Like I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's just also like another situation where you were literally Captain fucking America. You made what, $100 million per movie. And now everything you act in is just uninteresting. I saw one of his newer movies, and it got like on Rotten Tomatoes, and it had like 20%. And it's what's happening, mama? Who hates you on your team? And I don't know. It's just giving fucking loser. Like you're Chris Evans, you're Captain America. You're one of the hottest. People think that you're insanely hot, and the only girl you can pull, that you want to pull and marry, is 26. There's something there that isn't right to me. Yeah, I think he's got to be a fucking loser. I mean, he's like a Disney adult. I don't know. I think their divorce is going to be really fun, though. I think. Oh,
yeah. That's a white woman divorce story I actually want to hear about.
Oh, yeah. I want her doing interpretive dances.
I want the book.
I want the book. I want the interviews. I want her fucking making sculptures out of shit and stuff like that. That is a divorce.
Can you imagine all like the America imagery?
Oh my God.
It's gonna chew. I hope she's talented.
That'll be a fun divorce, yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, if I'm married before 30, I need you to know something's wrong. I need you to know something is literally not okay. Because what do you mean? I'm sorry. I know that I'm not even at my cuntiest point of my 20s. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm married plus children.
Yeah.
At a fresh 26. Poor thing. Feel sorry for the girl.
I do too.
Good luck to her.
I know she's not going to have shit to contribute to the group chat.
Nothing.
Like, I just did some laundry.
Just right. Just change another diaper. It's like you're 28.
I bought a new Dyson. Like, girl. I don't know.
He's rich, so I mean, I think she can have fun with that. But also, he lives in Boston. Like,
she's gonna go to the war.
Portuguese shorty, and you. Oh, a lobster roll again. Oh, yeah, let's go to another baseball game.
Yeah, I thank God every single day that I was born when I was born and where I was born, because if I was in like a culture or a space or a time where the clock was ticking on me at 24, I simply would have to drown myself like Ophelia. Because if I'm thinking about like Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas, if I married the guy that I like swore I wanted to marry, that I want to spend the rest of my life with, from 19 to 22, I would literally be in like a Carrie and Big relationship. Right. Except that he is not rich. And not attractive. So I just would have been getting put through the ringer for a man who's nice to me like 40% of the time.
And she was what, like 23 when they met? The child bride. It reminds me of, you remember, did you watch Handmaid's Tale?
I didn't.
There was like a part where they literally had like children getting married to these like old ass men in their community, and it was like they just had like lines and lines of them, and I was like, this is giving that.
Yeah, that's what this outline feels like.
Yeah. Ugh, poor thing. She's gonna be full of baby. very soon. That's what's nastiest, I think, is like, I'm going to marry someone like in her 20s because, you know, her ability to create children, blah, blah.
And
But
just
yeah.
like, who wants to like, once again, no disrespect to the young mom community, who wants to be in their mid-20s taking care of a baby? Can you imagine
Oh my
having to
God.
find and or pay for a babysitter every time you want to go get an amaretto sour with the girls?
Like, are you kidding me?
I love coming and going as I please and not having to answer to anyone.
Hello.
And you have this someone, first off, you made this. You're carrying around this DIY project that can't hold its head up, can't feed itself, has no motor skills, no
Right.
critical thinking skills. And you just have to be responsible for it all the time. No, thank you.
Thick and twisted.
No, thanks.
Oh God. I wouldn't wish that on my enemies. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. I found out this girl that I matched with on Hinge and was like talking to like years ago, like 2020. I found out she just had a baby, and I'm like, oh, couldn't be me.
Wow.
No,
it's crazy. But you know what's interesting? That Sex and the City thing, like Miranda, when like she was like, men are like taxis, and it's like when they're ready, they just have their light on, and whoever's around is just gonna get married. I feel like that's the Chris Evans scenario because he just didn't want to get married, and then one day he did, and he's okay. I'll marry her.
Like, you're young and fertile,
right?
So.
Disgusting.
Yuck.
Anyway, shout out to her. I mean, I just feel if I was cast on a Netflix show and making, I don't know, like $100,000 a year, like I'd just be blowing it on coke. Like I would not be fucking sitting down and getting married.
Right. Shorty has to balance a checkbook at the dining room table.
Right. Right.
Ugh.
Go to Whole Foods and actually shop and plan meals. You can't just go to Whole Foods.
Call your mother-in-law. I barely call my own mom. Mom.
Same. I call her once a week. That's my dog. Okay.
When's the last time I talked to my mom? Anyway.
Yeah.
So there was this tweet going around. Somebody was like, who is like your favorite Hollywood cheater? And it can't be like an old Hollywood person. It has to be like a new Hollywood person. And honestly, really great conversation starter, honestly.
Right.
Like I cheating is bad, obviously, but it did not occur to me just how many people in Hollywood like were like like just straight up cheaters.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, do you have any thoughts on who your favorite cheater is?
I have a lot of thoughts. I was thinking about John Mulaney. I think because of the trouble that started. I was like, you know what? As a messy bitch who lives for drama, as a middle child who likes to just cause problems and keep arguments going in my family just to ruin the vibe. I love that. Yeah, Kristen Stewart, another cheater that I will always respect. Do what you got to do, sister. What am I supposed to judge you? I can't.
Her cheating scandal was crazy. Them getting papped 2 feet away from the fucking set in broad daylight. I was like, did y'all even try? But also, maybe that was his idea. He was like, if the paparazzi catch us, then
we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only for her to be lesbianic years later. Queenie, I can't. I don't know about a girl. I don't know about a bitch.
I don't know. And then now she's in that blood oath contract with Chanel.
Ugh, and
I need to know what happened in like her past life, that her life trajectory has played out like this.
They have her wearing like gym shorts with a fuck ass bob on the red carpet with what's it called? Like one of those tweed jackets. It's come on, free her.
Really have her dressed like Jackie Kennedy. That is a lesbian. Please give her some pants.
Oh my God. I said it. Controversial. Jay-Z. Look, here's the thing. I'm anti him cheating on Beyonce. We all know how I feel about that. Yeah. Yes. However, him cheating on Beyonce resulted in a lot of very good pop cultural moments, starting with the elevator fight.
Okay.
We got Lemonade out of that. So it's had Jay-Z been like a faithful husband, sure, Beyonce probably wouldn't be spending a lot on therapy, but also, I got holed up. So
real. Also, another man pursuing a younger woman. I don't know.
I mean,
that's honestly Jay-Z. I can see that. I saw you put that in the doc, and I was like, I need to hear her explanation, but it went the exact direction I thought.
I was like, it's not necessarily the cheating itself, but it like the aftermath of said cheating, I think is very iconic. And yeah, like Lemonade. I'm grateful. Yeah. What about you? Who are your cheaters?
Honestly, I didn't have enough time to think of all the cheaters because there was just an abundance of them. So top of mind, Arianka. I was saying to my friend earlier, I really do admire that she's just ignoring everything that's going on. She's like, actually, you guys should buy my makeup and I'm going to do a Vogue video.
Exactly.
Queen. Also, Julie Roberts. Girl.
Queenie.
I found out a couple months ago that she converted to Hindi. So that basically means that that's my sister.
Wow.
And the details of her cheating scandal are like not super clear to me right now because I learned about it definitely the last year and a half or so. But she shaded the guy's wife in a shirt that said aloe vera because the wife's name was Vera. So it said A-L-O-W Vera. And she got papped in that shirt. I don't know. She's mother, sister, aunt, cousin, friend. Love her down.
Right. You'll never make me hate Julia fucking Roberts. Ever.
She was Erin Brockovich. She was a pretty woman. She was at my best friend's wedding.
Exactly.
Literally all the girls want to be her. Anyway. Also, I don't really like to give men, especially white men, credit for anything. But Noah Baumbach, he's kind of like the Wilt Chamberlain of cheating, if you think about it. Because he was married. He cheated on his wife with Greta Gerwig.
Love it.
They get divorced because he's cheating on her. He's like, damn, I need to fund this divorce somehow. This nigga makes Madagascar 3 and makes nearly $800 million in the box office. Gets married to Greta Gerwig. Right. I'm pretty sure they have a kid. I'm not super duper sure.
I think 2.
Yeah. And then he gets co-writing credits on Barbie.
On Barbie. Well,
I don't know. I think he should go to the Rock Nation brunch. Literally, what do you want me to say? Also, if I was his ex-wife, I would probably have to kill him. Because it's no way you cheated on me.
It's crazy.
And you have to get divorced, and then you got a leg off of our divorce in your infidelity. That's crazy work.
And he made a movie with Greta Gerwig, Frances Ha. That's
I didn't know who directed that.
Gerwig. And so it's what was happening? What stage of the divorce were they in?
I need Teffy to do a little celebrity series and catch us up.
Let me call her up. Also, Marriage Story. Writing Marriage Story and being like, I fucking hate my wife.
Casting Adam Driver to be you and Scarlett Johansson to be your wife.
Interesting decisions all around.
I don't know. I need his birth chart so bad. We'll look it up later.
Oh, yeah. Like a full read.
Yeah.
I was going to say one of my other cheaters. This is like a deep cut. If you watch America's Next Top Model, season 2, when they go to Italy, one of the models, Shandy, she's like skinny and blonde and she wears glasses and she like works at a CVS and she has this long-term boyfriend and she fucks one of the Italian model guys that they're hanging out with in Italy. Mind you, this is like 2002. And she calls her boyfriend and she's, I did something bad. And he's, what'd you do? And he's screaming at her. And I just think that was iconic to me, only to fucking lose America's Next Top Model.
Okay, I have to say, the most shocking part of that story is like not even that she fucked a hot Italian guy, because like, who wouldn't? It's kind of a rite of passage when you go to Europe.
Mind you, they were riding around on Vespas and fucking
okay, Lizzie McGuire.
Wine. Exactly. Wine.
I'm really mad at her. But also, the most surprising part of that is that her name was Shandy and she was a white girl with glasses.
Crazy.
Shandy with an I.
Shandy with an I. Yes. Look.
Yeah.
We have to do a whole America's Next Top Model.
Oh, for sure. We got to put it on the list for sure. I feel like we wrote it down somewhere, but that definitely needs to happen.
Clip of the girl. And she's, my son was conceived to the hour on 9/11. He's my Ja Wolf. He's my and that was like what, 2003, 2004. And now he has like an OnlyFans where he's like gargling balls.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Oh God. Okay.
Ooh. All right. Now that we got all that shit talking out the way, final note: fuck older men who pursue younger women.
Right.
All going to hell.
And then jail.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Beyonce's birthday.
Happy 42nd, Queenie.
Oh my God, Queenie, mother. Don't even know what the outfit's a. I
Oh
loved her little
God.
party hat, her little silver party hat. She's such a little dork.
She's
I
so
love
funny.
her. The outfit chewed Diana Ross.
Oh,
I watched that video of her running to Diana Ross on stage like 40 times. She just looked, just that was like an inner child smile.
totally.
You know what I mean? And that's
Totally.
not a term that I throw around loosely. You know, I'm not that
Yeah.
earnest. But her like sprinting onto the stage with her microphone and like thanking her, like she's so cute.
So
That's literally my
cute.
girl. I
Yeah.
love her
And her
so
just like
bad.
having a birthday party at her concert, essentially, like
Being at work on her
bringing out
birthday,
all the bad bitches,
Virgo
being
queen.
like, yeah, Kate Tronada is going to open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. I love her. And just like the crowd being iconic in its own
Mm-hmm.
way. You know, we have
I thought Zendaya
Io.
was going to be at my show because her birthday is September 1st, I guess. I was like, oh, maybe she'll come for her birthday. But she was at Beyonce's birthday.
Like she was like, yeah, she was like, my birthday, I'm going to whatever Nobu or some shit, but I'm going to see Beyonce on Beyonce's birthday, which genius. And she was there with Tom Holland holding the bags. Per
Man should.
exactly. Take notes. Tom Holland never looks like he's a famous person near Zendaya. He looks like he's just happy to hold her eighth of weed.
Mm.
Like a very Polly Pocket, like jean.
It's like the baby jeans with the fake pockets.
Like just sewed shut. Oh my God. Shout out to Zendaya. Shout out to Tom. Yeah. Short King.
Yes.
Iconery. Io was there. Quinto was there. There was also a very crazy hard launch of Timothy and Kylie Jenner. Timothy Chalamet.
Not the most popular girls in school, boys. Okay, so Creed and I were talking about this morning, and you know, as we all know, I'm an Aries moon. I'm a Cancer rising, so it's my chart ruler. I'm very much motivated by spite, especially when it comes to spiting white women. And the fact that like the Brooklyn transplant, Bagoo, Septum Ring, Sandy Liang, loafers and White Sox girlies are so mad about this makes me love it even more.
Right.
You know, I was kind of into it. I was like, they're kind of sexy. I'm like, okay. And just seeing the NYU graduates, the new school graduates, just seething. With their benches shaking. It just motivated something in me. And I'm, yeah, Kylie, yeah, that's really your man.
Right.
Actually, that's Stormy's stepdad. Yeah.
With their like healed over scars from chlamydia. They're like, this is Timothy Chalamet's vagina.
Honestly, I'm surprised that a white woman didn't shoot up his school over this. Honestly.
Hey, there's still time. If Brandy Melville or like wherever all of them get their microbangs cut,
they're gonna pull the gun out of their Bagoo bag.
We are joking about a mass shooting.
Guys, if you're gonna do the mass shooting at a store, all right, do it on a weekday. All right, don't work weekdays on retail anymore. Do it between the hours of, I'm going to say 12 and 3, because if y'all mess up my commute home, I'm going to be really irritated. And I would say maybe not Soho.
Yeah.
You know, there's just too much going on there already. There's cobblestone streets, like just, I don't know, just some planning tips, just some logistics to think about.
I like it. I think thinking about the two of them is in their 2016 forms, they probably actually have a lot to talk about.
No, honestly, because I feel like they probably have a good time together.
They love biting Black people's shit. It's fun to them. Timothy's probably teaching Kylie lyrics to songs. And she's, oh my God, I knew that once. Or Travis sang that to me. And I didn't know the words. And, she, you know, he's like teaching the children about, I don't know, teaching them French. Being like, Allah, whatever the fuck.
He has a long cigarette.
Right. Oh my God. People were like,
imagining
I can't believe they're smoking at the Beyonce concert. I'm like, honestly, this is so cunt.
I mean, I wouldn't smoke a cigarette at Beyonce's birthday party.
There was a guy next to me smoking, there were like joints in rotation. And good for him. Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun little, I just loved the chaos of it. That's me being like an agent of chaos. I loved it. Yeah. Oh, did you see the Club Chalamet thing?
I'm like still putting the pieces together. It's times like this where I'm like, I really hate Elon Musk for what he's done to Twitter because he's ruined it in ways that are detrimental to my health, but still very annoying. And so I'm like still putting the pieces together, but I feel like I have a good gist on what happened. And the fact that she was like 50 years old and she was like a couple of weeks ago complaining about the strikes not being done yet. And it turns out she just really wanted Dune to come out soon. I don't know.
Did you see
Adam.
her post on 9/11?
Yes.
She was like, 20 something years ago, I went out for a job on the 102nd floor of the World Trade Center. And then I just was like, these are like really bad vibes. I'm not going to take the job. And it's like, you are Club Chalamet. You are a Timothy Chalamet fan account.
Right.
Timothy, and someone quote tweeted and was like, Timothy Chalamet was literally on a playground in Midtown eating dirt. And you were going for fucking job interviews at the World Trade Center. Like,
she's putting on her good skirt and her good
be
shoes.
Serious right now. Oh my god. I love it. I love the chaos. That was fun.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Rodarte dropped their celebrity portraits for the year. You know, so me and Fola both have like Taurus placements in the big three. So, you know, we're eating it up. We're duped, we're gagged. Rodarte has never led me astray or let me down. And they always scoop up the coolest people. I think they're kind of like the girl Tom Brown in that way.
I love that.
They're consistent. Their aesthetic is recognizable.
Yeah.
And they're going to scoop up the cool people for the year.
And the portraits were gorge.
Molly Gordon, Japanese Breakfast. It's my family. That's literally my family.
I love them. Yeah, and it was just so fun to look at. It was like a visual treat. It was like, wow. And they all just looked so fucking good. Io's braids were just eating. And I was like, wait, how does she get them to lay like that? I need to get mine to lay like that. Oh my God, Io.
So 40 people share that post on their story. I'm like, no, she did that. Dude.
I love her.
Queenie.
I'm just waiting. I'm like, guys, I'm auditioning for the role of evil Io Adebiri. Everyone's calling her the princess, their Princess Diana or whatever, the people's princess. I want to be the people's enemy. I want to be her antithesis.
You're going to be Carla Parker Bowles.
But yeah, speaking of Io.
The Loving versus Virginia summer continues because not only did Paul Mescal post a picture of him and Io Adebiri on his private Instagram, looking very cute, but the streets were saying on Dumois, and even the girl who wrote in was like, yo, I know it's convenient timing, but allegedly they might have been hooking up or seeing each other while Io was in Europe for the summer. And to that, I have to say, my good sister. Yeah, nothing but respect for my troops. Also, maybe it's a little bit controversial. I kind of hope that she hit Jeremy Allen White after he filed his divorce papers.
Him commenting on her posts and being like, pretty.
Yeah, like it's definitely giving he commented that while they were next to each other. Yeah, I know what you are.
I know what you are. I see you. I see you for where you are. Good for Io. I just love the summer, the year of Io Adebiri. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And someone was like, oh my God, look at all these like cunty girls right now. They're all 27. And I'm like, okay, you know, as a 24 right now, like being 27 I'm excited for that. There's no like dread for me because I'm like, wow, 27 is like when I'm going to like actually really start serving cunt, you know, very excited.
Also, I got to think where we are as a society, because I think when I was 24, I think if I was like 14, I definitely had the idea that like I need to be like settled down.
Right. Oh my God.
And I just really love that I have completely divorced from that, because I'm ready to just be in the streets. I'm ready to be a young lit bitch.
Exactly.
And having a good time.
Exactly.
Without being married or being tied down to children. So,
amen.
Shout out to being 27.
Preach it.
Shout out to them.
Yes. Also, Fashion Week.
I will say I'm like not really interested in like much Fashion Week this year. Like it's just not really giving it. It's not really giving what I want it to give.
Totally.
But Io, Rachel, Molly Gordon, Chase, Sui Wonders. I feel like somebody else is in there.
But especially Io.
Oh, and Emma Seligman, obviously. But I love to see my girls on the come up.
It's
what
incredible.
Can I say? They looked good as fuck. Io in that suit, I would do anything for her, honestly.
I'm on my knees.
Yeah.
Who's our stylist? Who do we have to thank? There should be someone that we're like shaking their hand. They should win an award. Stylist of the year. Also, that's literally why I said I'm evil Io Adebiri. Because what are we? I'm an Aries. She's a Libra.
No, literally.
Sister signs? Yeah.
Y'all need to be in each other. Yeah.
Cast me. I'm here. I'm waiting. I can be your evil cousin.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And of course, the iconic Coco Gauff winning the US Open. 19 years old.
I know that's right.
Youngest Black girl to win since who? Serena Williams in 1999. Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
And this is just the beginning because what? She's 19. She's got a
Mm-hmm.
smooth 20 years on her to play some goddamn tennis. Mind you, she beat Venus Williams, tennis pro, tennis great. She beat Venus Williams when she was 14 years old. She's not anything to play about. I don't play about
Right.
Coco because at the end of the day, I don't know. She's just, it's she's only going to get better. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She's only going to chew like more.
Exactly.
I love when black girls win things. And I love when black girls are like, yeah, I won. And suck my dick
Yeah.
from the back, bitch. And
Yeah.
I'm bad
I
like
think
a
black
Barbie.
women need to be more mean and arrogant.
Exactly. I love being rude as a black woman because it's like jarring. People are like,
so
"Oh my
fun.
God," because you know those memes on TikTok when people are like, "Oh, I love when the old black lady at the lunch line calls me baby." I'm like, I don't want you to think I'm ever gonna call you baby. I'm gonna say fuck you.
No. This is not the help, girl.
Yeah, good for Coco. And honestly, after like the rough start, after fucking that one white girl, the German chick was like trying to fuck up Coco's game and be all slow and shit and sit down and all that stuff. Like the fact that she came back from that to win, love it. If I'm not at the US Open next year, I'd be afraid.
If any brand was real, we would be there.
We'd be there.
Also, I'm bummed that Challengers got pushed back because of the strike, because if that came out this weekend, me and my Athleta tennis skirt, I would have been painting Lower Manhattan red, I'm afraid.
The tennis fashions.
Yeah. I think.
But now we have time to like construct a good tennis fit. It'll be like April, so you could do like a little cardigan moment with the long little high sock.
A black dress with white piping or whatever it's called. Like
yes, I see it.
A visor. And hopefully by then somebody will sponsor us and we can go.
Exactly. Yes.
Also, Inshallah. I always think about what my future kids are going to be like and what stuff I'm going to make them do as a parent. My daughter should definitely be playing tennis.
Absolutely. So, I'm going to be one of Venus and Serena's dad. Getting them up at 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning and being like, you're hitting balls.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah, this college education is not going to pay for itself.
Absolutely. Yes, I love it.
We'd love to see it.
All right. 2 hours in.
What can you say? We are wordy bitches. All right. So, Fola, do you want to go first with your...
Yeah, sure. I think I'm pretty like short this week. I don't know if you watch Selling Sunset on Netflix, but there are like lots of selling shows. There's Selling the OC, which is like about Orange County, and there's a new season of that this week. Or it dropped like last Friday, and I like watched it because it's very good brainless television. If you're into that, it's just really good reality. It's not good reality TV. It's not good reality TV, but it's in the way that it's like negative. It's like negative space. It's like white noise in a way.
It's like watching the Kardashians on Hulu.
Right. But it's still, like it's just vibes. And it's like, oh, look at this beautiful house on the beach. And then we're going to come here and talk shit about what happened at someone's party before we like show the house to someone else. So I think that's gorgeous TV. But this, like Selling the OC has never been like my favorite iteration of the show. There was also a Selling Tampa, which was all about Black women, which I loved. But this season's drama really centered around, I'm going to say like the most mid white man I've ever seen. Like the fact is, if like being a white man it just seems so easy. Like all you have to do is be tall, and you don't even have to be tall. You don't even have to be tall. People will squint and turn their heads to find you hot. Yeah. So this man who used to be married to Brittany Snow, like Shorty from Hairspray and fucking Pitch Perfect, they were married until like season 1 of Selling the OC aired. And he was basically just being like so flirty and touchy with like other girls on the show that his wife, Brittany Snow, was like, actually, I'm packing my shit and you're leaving. And basically this guy, a lot of the people on Selling the OC are like children of real estate, like magnates in Orange County. So like this guy is like basically a real estate Nepo baby. And so no one can really talk shit to him, but he's just so annoying and he's just such a nothing burger. And it's just like there was so much of the show centered around him. And I just hated it. And then there was another girl. They brought in a new girl named Allie. Mind you, there are 4 bitches in the office named Alexandra. Are you like, fuck off? Sick. And they brought in a new girl. Mind you, she doesn't have a real estate license. What the fuck is she doing sniffing around a brokerage if she doesn't have a fucking real estate license? Mind you, Selling Sunset, which is the show set in LA, there was a Black girl who came to the brokerage, had a real estate license, had experience and clients, and they were like, you can't join our group until you sell a house. She had to sell a house to become a part of the brokerage. You know what they did to make this white girl in Selling the OC part of the brokerage? They did a show of hands.
Not a show of hands.
This bitch has never sold a house. Never. It's just so nasty to me. And I just think that show is just, it's just like there's so much, you know, and it's, of course, it's Orange County, you know, and also just like very microaggressive. Mm-hmm. There's this one girl, one of the Alexes, her name's Alex Hall, and she's hooking up with the mid guy that I was telling you about. Like but they're like secretly hooking up. And then at the end of the season, they like kiss and it's okay. We all knew this was coming. What do you mean? But yeah, there's a Black girl on the show. And basically Alex Hall was like doing lots of hand movements to her while she was like talking, and they were having an attitude toward each other because basically the Black girl was like, this is messy. You hooking up with this guy is messy because his divorce isn't even finalized, etc. Mm-hmm. And so then they were like on some vacation in Cabo or whatever. And then she was like, the Black girl was like, where I'm from, that means you're trying to fight. And then the girl was like, what's her name? Alex Hall was like, oh my God, I just thought she was going to punch me in the face because she kind of got in her face about it. And she was like, I thought she was going to beat me up. Da, da, da. And I was like, this microaggressive bullshit is so nasty. And this girl also, there's a Latina woman on the show and she's really spicy. Like she's spicier than I anticipated. And then whole time I talk with my hands. I'm Italian X. She doesn't say she's Italian X. I said, she's like, I'm Italian. We talk with our hands. Da, 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 da. And I was just like, ew, fuck off. So yeah, pretty much. I just want to say I hate everyone on that show. Am I going to watch season 3 when it comes out? Yeah. But let me tell you. Anyway, see, that was my only hate. Good week. And then my love. I woke up on Saturday morning and I was like, I really need a good ham and cheese croissant. And I ordered a delicious croissant from some bakery near my apartment. And I got a ham and cheese croissant and an almond croissant. And they were both incredible. They were flaky. And I just want to say, I just love a good croissant. Like even just like a good plain croissant. I think there's joy and beauty there. And yeah, I love that. Secondly, sushi. I've just been in a very big sushi mood. Ooh. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm a snob about sushi. It can't be like grocery store sushi. And like, it's just, I won't. But yeah, I have a sushi place that I order from and love them so much. And next, I've been listening to this podcast called Blowback. It's about the American empire. And it's just like about like how America basically manages to squeeze people into war and then be like, oh my God, they're fighting wars. That's crazy. I just can't believe that they would just start fighting like that. As if,
so they act like white women.
Instigator of the Exactly. So yeah, it's a good podcast though. I think it's really well done. The only podcast by white men that I'll like listen to. Finally, I'm gonna stand up and say it. I like bongos. Like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. In fact, I'm
imagining you standing up like that guy in the Norman Rockwell painting.
Yes. It's a good song. Like people are like, oh, this shit is trash. Da, da, da. Oh, it's trash. No, you just don't get it. You have to have the mind of a mastermind, I think, to really understand where they're going with it. Because one of the lines of the song is, my back shots sound like bongos. That is lyricism. Okay. Or Cardi goes, my BD is amigo, as in amigo of Migos, because her baby daddy is Offset of Migos. And I just think you know, I think it's beautiful. I think it's good pussy poppy music. I feel like people
Mhm.
are like, people want to sit with lyric. Bring me a good beat and I'm there. I'm sad. And I love it.
Mhm. They hyped it up so much, and they're like, "Yeah, it's gonna compete with WAP." And I was like, "Okay, WAP had me throwing my ass back in my basement bedroom, August 2020 during the pandemic, brain fried from emotional abuse. That was my dog. That was my emotional support song. I'm
Right.
afraid, while I was having PTSD flashbacks every day. Anyway, but yeah, I listened to it and I didn't like it. I feel like it's one of those things that is gonna grow on me
It's a
eventually.
grower.
And I think when I hear it out for the first time this summer, then it's
Yeah,
really gonna click for me.
for sure. It's a grower. Because the first time I heard it, I
Mhm.
was like, what the fuck is this? But then
Right,
I kept going back to it and I was like, they're cooking.
right.
Yeah, like I walked to work listening to it and I was like, wait, no, yeah, there's a rhythm here.
Mhm.
It's good. I like
And the beat
it.
eats,
And it
like,
chews.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
I love that
yeah,
Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are friends. I
I
love that so
love
much.
it. I
They're
love
so
it.
cute.
I wish all the rap girls could be friends, but
Someone's not letting that happen. Speaking of rap girls, I think I'm going to take one for the team and try the Ice Spice drink from Dunkin' Donuts this
oh
week
my
because I'm
God.
feeling really chaotic. And I just, it's me and my Aries moon. I love doing stuff for the plot. You know what I
For
mean? Like
sure.
I'm just always collecting stories, and I need to be able to tell my daughter one day that I had the Ice Spice drink. So
Okay. What is
yes.
it like? Is there like a flavor? Has it been described in any way, or it's just the
Oh,
ice
it is
spice
a
drink?
frozen pumpkin iced coffee that has munchkins blended into it. This guy on TikTok got a large and it has 185 grams of sugar.
The way my stomach,
Yeah. But you know what? I like to live on the edge. You know what I mean?
I love
But
it.
I will report back in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear. I'll try it too,
Yes.
maybe.
Her. Yeah, I didn't get the grimace meal. Ice Spice, fellow Earth sign woman, fellow New York native
Yes,
woman, fellow
Queenie.
bisexual woman. That's my sister. I got to
Exactly.
support my girls. I got to support her so she
Exactly.
can buy more tiny bags.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Love
All
her.
right.
That's pretty much it. This is
All
probably the
right.
fastest weekly
Oh my
brief
God.
ever.
So here are my contributions to the weekly brief.
Yes.
Hates. Where are we? Hates. I just want to go in order from like least important to most important. This is a really controversial take, but I rewatched The Devil Wears Prada for the second time. It absolutely did not move me. I'm really sorry. I think it's really overrated. I love Anne Hathaway and I love Meryl Streep. And you think together they would really chew. It did not even take a little nibble off the edge. And just like the writing wasn't there, their performances felt really disjointed. Like it almost felt like they were filming
Mm,
two separate things and they just spliced the clips together.
mhm.
I also really hate like the tedious because we always talk about how Twitter discourse is cyclical. I hate the discourse that's always Andy's boyfriend and her friends were the real villains in the movie. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you don't get out of here with your fucking 11th grade English analysis of The Devil Wears Prada, don't piss
Right.
me off. Speaking of things that are pissing me off,
Mm,
breaking news on the weekly brief, we are in a hottie deficit. Okay.
real.
I have not seen a hot person out in a very long time. When I go out to the bars and things, it's really not looking good. I've noticed it. The girls have noticed it.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw a girl on Twitter, a girl I don't follow, have no connection to. Somebody liked her tweet, it popped up on my timeline. She's like, yeah, guys, we're in a hottie recession. It's not looking good or whatever. Why I checked her location in her bio and she lives in fucking London.
Oh. Oh,
When
it's
are the world
worldwide.
leaders? When are the world leaders going to get together? And they need to, like, when they were printing more money, they need to print more men because
Right.
it's not looking good. And the Republicans and the conservatives are like, the birth rates are so low, blah, 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 blah.
Let's look at what we have to work with.
Ignore the fact that raising children in America is crazy expensive and
Right.
difficult to do. These
Right.
things are not worth having babies for. They're stealing
Absolutely.
Margiela tabbies. And you want me to give up my young and hot years to breastfeed
Never that.
and make a casserole? I think fucking not. Last but not least, this is my biggest gripe ever. If I had to make like a top 10 list, is definitely my top 5. This new thing that we're doing, not we, because I'm not a fucking loser. Neither is Fola. Using strangers existing in public for content is getting
Ooh.
fucking ridiculous. And I am going to use names because I don't fucking care. That shorty, Kelsey Kutzor, or her, whatever her name is, who made the video, she's like, yeah, I was eavesdropping on these girls. They were talking shit about their friend's wedding. And
Right.
there were her bridesmaids, and shorty recounted all the details. I cannot tell you what I ate for dinner last week. And she recounted all the details of the strangers' conversation. She saw them zooming in on wedding pictures, like
Right.
doing way too fucking much. I don't even really know where to begin because there's just so many things wrong with the situation. Number one, the people being like, the people that were in the quote who's like, this is why I'm not having bridesmaids. People can be so nasty about weddings, blah, 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 blah. Those girls aren't her friends. They're so awful. Controversial opinion. People are allowed to talk shit about their friends sometimes.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's a part of life. Airing your grievances about your loved ones and other people with other people that also know them, it makes your relationships better because you're not building resentment from keeping everything inside.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And, is nothing sacred anymore. Bitches can't go. You guys watch Sex in the City and they talk shit about their friends all the fucking time and drink Cosmos, but y'all hear some other girls acting like that. And you're like, oh, let me pull up my legal pad and my pen and jot this all down and make it into a TikTok and hope that I find the bride so that she knows that her friends are bad friends. Why are you doing that? Is that how you would want to find out that your friends don't like you?
Right.
Because
and then the
some girl was
alternative is
eavesdropping on their conversation about you, a conversation that they had no intention of you finding out because relationships are complicated.
Exactly.
Sometimes the people you love do things that piss you off and you need to vent about it or talk about it. It's just dishonest, honestly.
Right.
And weddings bring out the worst in people, especially brides, because in America specifically, marriage is one of the few milestones that adults get where they're celebrated loudly and proudly beyond, I don't know, graduating college.
Right.
And also, weddings have become such a big hoopla over the last 7 to 5 years, I would say, because women, particularly straight women, they feel pressure to make their entire wedding from the moment they get engaged to the moment they pull up to JFK from their honeymoon. It has to be Instagram worthy. It has to look good for content. It has to impress people. Yeah. Because they're trying to keep up with people like Kylie Jenner. They're trying to keep up with girls who are like on The fucking Bachelor. And it's not, y'all are not them, ER nurse. We really don't care that you did custom Aperol Spritz sweatshirts for your bachelorette trip to Napa Valley. We don't, and also on top of all that, because y'all want to play being up with the Kardashians, you're putting financial pressure on your friends to go to all these weddings, to pay for dresses, to pay for hair and makeup and all that stuff. Obviously, they're going to have some issue with that because it's their fucking money. Everything costs $1 million. We lived through a pandemic, and now they have to literally pay in order to maintain your friendship because by choosing not to be in the wedding, saying you don't want to be in the wedding, saying you don't want to do something can cause tension in the friendship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's intellectually dishonest to act like you love your friends 100% of the time. I don't love all of my friends 100% of the time. I would say I love them 95% of the time. Yeah. But because I have really good friends right now. I don't have friends I really am bothered by right now. But in the event that one of them did something to me, I would hope that I can just have a conversation with somebody about it to get it off my chest. And have that physical expression and get some feedback, get some support, and hope that it's not going to be dissected and uploaded to TikTok. And this is kind of related to what you're saying with Mila Kunis and Will Smith and Ashton Kutcher and the slap and all that, is that the performance of niceness and politeness is very uniquely white American. You know what I mean? White Americans are very much afraid of the idea of conflict and people not liking them. And that's why they put on performances and all that jazz.
Absolutely.
And it's intellectually dishonest. It takes away your ability to have deep, complex interpersonal relationships. You know what I mean? And you are fooling yourself if you are pretending that people don't have flaws.
Exactly. Yourself included.
Right. Because because who does that help? It's a very neoliberal thing. We're not going to critique anybody. We're just everything is fine. We're going to pretend everything is fine. And last but not least, I'm going to get really fucking nasty. That Kelsey shorty is engaged a second time to a man who called off their engagement previously to work on his quote unquote music career. So I'm paying my copay to do DBT every week to recover from my mistakes, right? But if I was an influencer and it was public knowledge that me and my fiance got engaged, he dumped me to work on his music career, we got engaged again, I would not be worrying about anyone's wedding but my own. I would be focused on making it down the aisle and exchanging my vows and seeing it to the end of the wedding festivities. I would not be eavesdropping on someone's conversation at brunch and gather enough details to compile into a TikTok. It's weird. It's getting really fucking weird.
What's the alternative? You want these girls to ruin their friend's wedding and come and have bad attitudes and be like, actually, fuck you. I don't like you. or I hate how I look at, you know what I mean? Yes, it's a wedding and weddings are very important to people. So it's very much about the imagery. It's about the pictures that are taken because no one's actually going to remember the entire hoopla, but the pictures are going to be forever. So it's, yeah. Why would they want to ruin this? Even if they don't fuck with Shorty all that much, I wouldn't want to ruin my friend's wedding. If he's friend or not, you know, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to ruin stuff. I wouldn't want to be like able to be pointed out as the cause of a wedding not being great. So yeah, I don't know. What do you want them to do?
Right. They were supposed to drop out the wedding. And also that's just not how human relationships work. People are always like, why didn't you do this thing that would have made me feel better? And that's just not how human relationships work. Yeah. Let's say they're also, we don't know enough about them. Yeah. To really understand if they were being malicious or not. You know, honestly, maybe their friend was being a bridezilla. Maybe she was maybe she was asking them for too much. Maybe their shit really was ugly. Maybe she really was being really tacky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what, they were in England. There's a big possibility.
Yeah. Like, we don't know enough. And but also, like, you're essentially like, you're putting a meteor on these people's relationship. You don't even fucking know them. Yeah. So I'm just going to urge everyone, stop that shit. I don't care about the engagement. It's very Black Mirror that you guys need to exploit other people's experiences for engagement online. It's really scary. I think you guys need to develop a sense of self. Right. Maybe do some journaling, talk to someone, call your mom, but we can't keep doing what we're doing right now. It's not sustainable. It's not. My loves this week, my good sister, my Virgo queen, Fiona Apple. Happy birthday to my sister. You know, Virgo women are so talented. I literally don't know what to tell you. Literally. Number 2, I'm really loving the Upper West Side. I'm spending more time up there because of work. And I'm just really enjoying it. It's like a cozy vibe. I feel like I'm in the You've Got Mail. And I've been seeing a lot of younger people of color there. And I'm like, oh, we are still here. And that's really comforting. I love it. And I'm just having a good time, you know, because the family I nannied for last year, they lived on the Upper East Side. So now I had like another neighborhood to get acclimated to and explore and stuff. And it's fun. Last is, I'm going to say, it's the Undefined Co. Night Serum, the R&R Night Serum. My sister gifted it to me from her little influencer PR stockpile. And I was never on the hunt for a serum, but it's getting me back into doing my full skincare routine every day. I just love putting it on so much. It smells so good. It's lightweight. Like, it just, she's that girl. You know, I don't know what to tell you. And last on love, I haven't gone out to the bars in a while, but I bought cranberry raspberry juice from Ocean Spray and already had tequila at home. So I've been making tequila cranberries and a homemade tequila cranberry. I don't know if she's going to eat. She's fruity. There's tequila in it. Do I need to explain more? It's just good. And I get to have it in the comfort of my own home. No bra on. Don't have to ask anyone for it. Don't have to pay for it. Right. So I'm having a good time. I'm kind of an idiot because look, you can go to the bar and be like, actually, yeah, give me a tequila and cranberry juice. I love being an adult. These are good loves. I love that. Thank you. I really liked yours too.
Thank you. I need to go hang out on the Upper West Side. I don't think I've ever really been in it. Yeah.
It's fine. Maybe we'll do an Upper West Side trip.
Upper West Side moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 hours of episode late.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. There's a lot to go on. And like, I don't know. We're women are the people. We have lots of hard opinions on things. Who would we be if we didn't give you guys a 2-hour episode about all the pop culture happenings over the last week and a half, you know?
Exactly.
If you're still here, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Bye.
Amazing. Bye.